In the last part, we saw Dave and Mike, where Dave was a gentle person and Mike was a fun-loving person. But they were both genius. So, Mike's father and Dave's teacher tell both of them to bring the pearless bead from an island. When Mike arrives near that island, he meets Dave, so Mike attacks Dave. Meanwhile, a girl was watching them fighting from far away, who herself was there to take the pearless bead. Now, let's continue. At the beginning of this part, Mike says to Dave, "You think you are smart because of the soldiers. If you have courage, fight me alone." After saying this, Mike goes inside the island. Dave too enters the island, leaving the soldiers there. There, Dave hears a strange sound. Dave follows that sound. And after following it, Dave reaches a big cliff. Right then, Mike attacks Dave. But Dave saves himself. Mike says, "So, you have come here alone at last." Then Mike throws Windblade attack on Dave, but Dave defends it by using God Bestow technique. Seeing this, Mike rushes towards Dave. But Dave throws him behind by using his shield and starts smiling. Becoming even more angry, Mike throws multiple Windmaker attacks towards Dave, but Dave stops them using Spiritual Hand, so Mike attacks Dave with his lightning ball. Then a stone starts flying towards them. Seeing this, they both destroy that stone. Next, a guy appears, who was actually a warrior from the sacred domain. Now that warrior transforms himself into a bear so that he can catch both of them. Dave realizes that this guy is a warrior from the sacred domain. Now that warrior attacks Dave. But Dave uses a shield to save himself. Then Mike uses multiple attacks on that warrior. But nothing happens to that warrior. And he rushes towards Mike. Mike saves himself and throws him away using his thunder attack. Mike says, "This guy is not as powerful as he looks. So, whoever is hiding behind him, come forward." Then the girl appears, whose name was Emma. Seeing Emma, Mike says, "You are so beautiful." Emma tells both of them that she is from the Silver Lotus clan of the Sacred Domain. Then both of them introduce themselves. Emma says, "You two are from different domains. So, you are not friends." Then Emma asks them, "Why have you two come here?" Mike says, "Stop this nonsense. Because I know you have come for the pearless bead." Then the warrior tells Emma, "We have many soldiers with us. Why don't we kill them?" Emma tells him to shut up. And she tells both of them, "Our domain tries to maintain peace from the very beginning. So, let the four of us fight for the bead. And we will let the winner take the pearless bead. Also, nobody will stop him." Mike tells Emma, "You want to play games with us? Because you are two people. So, both of us have to fight with two people. And you will have the advantage." Then we see Dave looking down the cliff. Because he was hearing strange sound coming out of there. So, Dave jumps down the cliff. Mike also goes behind him. But Emma and that warrior cannot jump there. Because a seal closed the opening. So, they sit there and wait for Dave and Mike to come back, so that they can snatch the bead away from them. Here, Mike and Dave reach the end of the cliff, where Mike asks, "Why haven't the warrior and the girl come down?" Dave replies, "Fool. They are from the same domain." Mike realizes that the seal did not let those two enter here. Because they were two people from the same domain. And only one person from each domain is allowed here. Then Dave takes the attacking position. Mike says to him, "Let's find the pearless bead first. Then we can fight for it." Dave agrees to it. Next, they start entering deeper into the cave, where Mike uses another element to light up the area. Then Dave wonders exactly how many elements this guy possesses. He has already used 3. Now this is his 4th element. Mike continues to rush faster. Dave creates a seal to make him fall down. To take revenge, Mike uses fire attack on him. But Dave saves himself. Now they reach the sacred temple of that island. There was a ball-like stone in front of them. They both go near that stone. Mike asks Dave, "Can it be the pearless bead?" Dave says, "I don't know." So, Mike attacks that stone to check it. But there is no reaction from that stone. Mike says, "This must be a stone only." But Dave didn't believe it. because he was hearing sound coming out of here. Dave touches the stone to know the truth. But he becomes glued to that stone. And that stone starts consuming his aura. Then, Mike asks him, "What are you doing?" To misdirect him, Dave says that he is refining that stone. Hearing this, Mike too rapidly touches the stone. As a result, he too gets glued to the stone. Then, Dave tells him, "You really are a fool." Then Mike tries to kick him. But, due to this, he gets completely glued to that stone. Then, everything starts to shake, which is felt by Emma and that warrior too. That warrior attacks the seal to enter the cliff. But the seal was removed already. As a result, that warrior falls into the cliff. Emma follows that warrior too. Here, both of them try to separate themselves from the stone. Meanwhile, they see a light shining inside the stone. But then they fall down. And become senseless. Then Emma and that warrior arrives there. Emma asks the warrior to check Mike. Mike follows. Here, Emma gets enchanted by the beauty of senseless Dave. But she regains herself and checks Dave. But she cannot find anything other than a sparrow toy. Then Emma sees a bracelet on Mike's hand, where there was a screen. So, Emma takes the bracelet from that warrior and starts looking at the screen. But Mike kept unspeakable things inside it. Emma becomes shy and thinks about what kind of stuff Mike collects. Now they cannot find the peerless bead from these two. That makes Emma wonder if the peerless bead was an illusion. This makes the warrior angry and he begins to kick Mike. Emma reminds him, "Don't forget, our clan's motto is peace and harmony." Hearing this, the warrior tears Mike's dresses apart to check properly. Emma becomes shy and runs away from that place. The warrior also follows Emma. Later, the two gain consciousness. Mike becomes angry seeing his torn clothes. Because Mike could listen to them while being unconscious. Dave starts leaving. Mike tells him, "If we meet again, I won't spare you." Dave says, "You are still a child." Mike becomes angry. Then Mike comes out of the cliff wearing leaves, where his friend, Dolphin, was waiting for him. Mike returns home on the back of the Dolphin here. We see Dave meditating, then he realizes that a big monster is approaching his ship. Seeing this, the soldiers with Dave become horrified. And this part ends here.